As we begin to contemplate how businesses will emerge from lockdown and consider what our markets and organisations will look like, past performance is the least useful starting point for this exercise. The sunny uplands, where we were all on top of our game, have gone, and we need to get a grip of the new reality. Fortunately, some of the best brains around are dropping little gold nuggets into our laps. In the first 2 weeks of April 2020, McKinsey surveyed executives around the globe to identify how they thought the pandemic would play out, and they published their results using this matrix, which serves as a useful tool to help business leaders sense-check their strategy. Survey respondents were asked to give their views on the effectiveness of the public health response, which is plotted on the vertical axis, worst case at the bottom, best case at the top, and on the effectiveness of government economic policy, worst case on the left, best case on the right. McKinsey presented their findings in a 3x3 grid, creating 9 different scenarios for the economic impact of the coronavirus crisis. So in the top right quadrant, respondents believed that government economic interventions and the public health response will both be effective and will get a V-shaped bounce. Whereas those in the bottom left quadrant felt that both public health interventions and government economic intervention will fail and will be in for a prolonged downturn. The views of most respondents lay in the black squares labelled A1 to A4, but the true value of this grid comes from the categorisation of the scenarios rather than the popularity of one outcome over another. Whilst no two businesses develop their strategy in the same way, business leaders can use the McKinsey matrix as part of a toolkit to build a coronavirus springboard to propel their businesses forwards with a root and branch review of strategy. For example, if you overlay your position on the 5 key elements of strategy, link this to Porter's generic strategy and Kralyik's purchasing model, you can then sense check this and all other strategic combinations through the 9 different lenses on the McKinsey matrix. This will create a much better springboard than one built on past logic.